Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto and Hinata Run Away Together. This story is made by Jasaiya Hawkins, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. It was windy, dark, and raining outside. The village was heavily damaged. A group of former shinobi, now bandits, had attacked. While the casualties were at minimum, a lot of damage had still happened to the village. The leader was unknown, showing himself so briefly that only Naruto had seen him since he was so close. After the leader had destroyed a good bit of the own by himself, he had turned and ran. Naruto had given chase, going into the forest training zone. Everyone besides the leader had been captured and neither him nor Naruto had been seen since. Pakken, do you still have the scent? We have to hurry. Kakashi ran alongside Pakken. He had summoned him shortly after finding Naruto still missing. Sakura had also come with him, preparing to do whatever was necessary to find and help her teammate. Don't worry. Despite the rain, I still can smell him. He's severely injured by the smell of it. His bee is all over the place. Sakura sa fist into a nearby tree, making it crash into the ground. Sakura, I know you're worried. But don't destroy the forest please. Sakura merely glared at Kakashi. Unconfined fury shone in her eyes. Kakashi had no doubt she was the Hokage's apprentice. She was learning her teacher's death glare. Don't worry, you just said he was severely injured. And look on the trees around you. A lot of them are smeared in bee. Darn it, why do you have to be such a hothead, Naruto? Kakashi remained silent as Sakura continued to vent. Pakken growled. Not all of it is Naruto's. He managed to hurt his opponent as well. If we get to him quickly, he still has a good chance at living through this. In fact, we're almost there. Sakura went quiet and scanned the general area. There was a dominant trail of small holes and drag marks, a signature sign of Naruto's Rasengan. But there was also B as well. Sakura saw Naruto finally. Oh number. He's hurt really bad. She rushed to his side and looked him over, seeing what was the worst injuries. Half of his face was covered in B, flowing from an open gash on his forehead. His hands were covered with chakra burns, probably from excessive use of his Rasengan. His legs and arms sported several C, though they were already closing and not B. A mini katana-like size was pinning him to a large tree through his right shoulder. Kakashi-sensei, come over here and catch him. Kakashi ran over and caught him as Sakura pulled it out. Naruto was still and unmoving as Kakashi leaned him against the tree. He backed off as Sakura began her work. He's still breathing, but it's labored. Probably a few broken ribs. She closed the gash on his forehead and stopped the bee in his shoulder. Sakura removed what remained of Naruto's shirt and jacket and checked his ribs. A few broken ribs as well. We need to get him back to Konoha. Kakashi gently picked up Naruto like a baby. Lead the way, Pakken. Sakura, we move at a double pace. Sakura nodded and they set off. Naruto stirred vaguely and grunted in pain. This won't be for long, Naruto. Just hold on until then. Naruto turned his head as best as he could to look at who was speaking. Sakura smiled encouragingly. Sa, ku, ra, and ka, she. Don't speak. You have a few broken ribs and several other injuries. You need to rest. Naruto nodded faintly and passed out again. Sakura, Kakashi, and Pakken increased their pace. A little while later they made it to Konoha. Tsunade and Shizune had taken over the moment they arrived at the hospital. Now Sakura, who had been joined by Hinata, stood outside the door where Naruto was currently being treated. They had been there about half an hour when a couple orderlies opened the door and wheeled out a stretcher. Naruto was on it. Take him to a private ward in the ICU. I'll be there shortly. Shizune, go with them. Tsunade issued her orders and walked over to the two konoiki waiting for her. She looked exhausted and she was wringing her hands. He'll pull through. Though he won't be moving around for a while. Go home and get some rest. I suppose that he can have no visitors yet. Hinata was blushing furiously. Tsunade shook her head. If nothing happens tonight, you can visit him in the morning. Now I believe I told you to go home and rest. And Hinata, if you like him that much, You should tell him. He's too dense to fully understand love in this stage of life. It doesn't help that he's a boy. You're too subtle for him. You really have to him one if you want his attention. Hinata couldn't help but giggle. She knew she could never really him. But she had a feeling the Hokage wasn't talking about him physically. And with that thought in mind, Hinata smiled. Hinata entered the hospital nervously with some flowers in her hand. She was determined to see Naruto and be around him without passing up. As she slid the door shut, Sakura looked up from the front desk. Hinata, are you here to see Naruto? Hinata shuffled her feet nervously and blushed. Yeah, I am. How is Naruto? Sakura motioned for someone to take her place and walked with Hinata to Naruto's room. Well, he's out of the ICU. His internal injuries are healed. But he still lost a lot of B and is exhausted from chakra use. He's still unconscious, though his vitals are steady and Tsunade-sama is expecting him to wake up at any time now. Maybe you can speed it along. Believe it or not, he does know you exist. Hinata and Sakura reached his room and Sakura excused herself as Hinata turned a bright shade of red. With shaking hands she opened his door and stepped in. She closed it behind her and walked over to his bed. Naruto-kun. She placed the flowers on his bedside table and sat down. Hinata wanted to stay silent. But she figured this would be a good time to practice while Naruto was still unconscious. You know, Naruto, I really admire you. No matter what, you've always encouraged me. Thanks to you I've become a strong shinobi. Even my father and I getting along better. Remember that time when we fought those bug users? After you acknowledged me, I felt so good about myself. But the feeling goes deeper. You see, it's not just admiration of a stronger ninja than myself. Naruto didn't wake up. You've been so patient with me. Surely you thought I was so weird. Want to know why I always pass out around you? Silence filled the room. You see, I like you. Not as a friend. It's much more than that. It's not even like, I love you. Before I met you, there was no one to ever truly be like you. She brushed some hair from over his eyes. Naruto shivered. Hinata gasped. So what would your family think? Surely they wouldn't let you be Together from outside the clan, much less a nobody like me. He cracked open his eyes. Some color returned to his cheeks as he turned his head to face her. He grinned widely as she blushed heavily. Though still, good reaction. When I did this to Sakura she punched me even though I had just nearly It was worth every second of it though. So you heard everything. Naruto smiled and nodded. Surprisingly she didn't pass out. And what do you feel about me? He looked thoughtful for a moment. About that, I'm not sure. This whole time I've been only focused on my shinobi career. I'm sorry I never noticed your feelings though. There's no excuse for it. However I do know this. He placed his left hand on top of hers. I'm not good enough for you. You're the heir to the Hyuga clan. And I'm only an orphan from Konoha. While your future is clear, mine's still very muddled. If circumstances improved, maybe it would be possible. Hinata looked crestfallen for a second then suddenly had an idea. I'll talk to my father. There's other who could take that position. I have to go Naruto. I'll stop by again tomorrow. Naruto tried to stop her. She stopped and looked at him. No, Hinata. You said you and your father were getting along again. Don't ruin that on account of me. I'm not worth it. Hinata pulled her hand away gently. I won't drop it. You taught me to never give up on my dreams. I won't. Also, just because you're an orphan doesn't mean your family isn't important. After you recover, I'll help you find your family if you want. I won't be a pushover. And no one is worthless. She bent down and kissed him on the cheek. This time it was Naruto's turn to blush heavily. I'll inform them you've woken up. She skipped out of the door and quietly shut it. That night it was chaos in the private rooms of the head branch of the Hyuga clan. Hinata had asked to privately talk with her father. She had asked for her father's blessing on her relationship with Naruto. I absolutely forbid it. You are not to marry out of the head branch of the family. You know what would happen. The bloodline trait will leave the family. I won't allow it. From now on, other than on missions, you are to have no contact with that boy. But nothing. You are not the head of the family. When I say no further contact, I mean it. If you have contact with him, the Byakugan will be sealed and you will no longer be able to use it. I'll also banish you from the clan. Hinata glared at her father defiantly. Then so be it. I want to be with Naruto. If that is what it takes, I'll do it. Hinata, use your common sense. Hinata walked to the door and opened it. Right at that moment, Neji was also pulling it open. He looked panicked. Neji, what's wrong? Neji ignored the question of the family head and turned to Hinata. Please tell me you've seen Naruto. Hinata shook her head fearfully. The last time you saw him was in his hospital room. Yes. Why? Did something happen? Neji was almost afraid to tell his cousin the truth. Tell me now. Neji was shocked by how stern her voice sounded. Naruto's missing. He was questioned about his attacker and said something about an organization called Satsukiyami being after him. A little while later he was gone. We think he fled to spare the village. Hinata ran past her cousin without a word. Hinata, wait. Leave it to the trackers. They'll find him and bring him home. Hinata ignored both the protests from her father and her cousin. Her mind was only on Naruto. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And with that said, she ran into the darkness of the night. The head of the Hyuga clan stopped his nephew before he ran out of the door after Hinata. She's picked her path. We can't stop her now. I always wanted her to be more assertive. And now she is in the area I don't want her to be assertive in. Neji yanked his hand out of Hiashi Hyuga's grip. You don't understand. Haven't you heard? Satsukiyami is on its way here now. They're after Naruto for some reason. And if Hinata will be with Naruto, she's in danger. One of their members beat Naruto senseless. Naruto, with his huge amount of chakra and stamina in a short fight. Neji calmed down and bowed his head. I'm sorry. Forgive my disrespect. Hiashi put his hand on Neji's shoulder. I understand. You're worried. But Kakashi will be following them to make Naruto think straight and bring him home. Neji, you're a Junin now. So I can trust you with the information I am about to tell you. We think we may know Naruto's heritage. Neji looked shocked. It's that heritage which may make Satsukiyami go after him. Or it could be something else. Hiashi-sama, what do you mean? Hiashi sat down and Neji sat down as well. You see, we've heard of this group. It's a group of 4 people. They travel around with the sole purpose of finding and destroying demons. Remember during the Chunin exam which Orochimaru attacked? Neji nodded. You saw for yourself what was in him. It is the spirit of the 9-tailed fox which attacked Konoha 15 years. We believe that his father, the 4th Hokage, sealed it in him. And one of the members has a particular grudge against the 4th. Neji remained silent. Also, this group, Satsukiyami, may not be bad. We think they not only want to destroy the demon in him, and demons are always causing chaos anywhere they go, but free him as well. Because of that demon inside of him, Naruto Uzumaki's life has been very bad. It's how they go about it that we have issues with. Hiashi-sama, what tactics do they use? They go all out once they confront him. They don't want to kill the person. But either way, Naruto will S with them. If they simply beat him to death, then the demon S. But if the demon is removed, Naruto will S. There has never been a successful demon removal with the host still living afterwards. I'll leave it to Kakashi. But if Hinata is hurt, physically or emotionally, he'll be hearing from me. Neji stood and left the room. Switching viewpoints. Naruto, where are you? Answer me. Hinata was running through the deserted streets of Konoha. It was almost midnight and everybody was at home with most of the lights off. She had snuck into the hospital to see if Naruto had returned. But he hadn't. His room was still deserted. His apartment was the same. His clothes were gone, as well as some food. Likewise, his shinobi equipment was also not there. Naruto was gone. And Hinata was desperately trying to find him. Hinata stood still and activated her Byakugan. She searched the entire village and saw someone hiding in the shadows of an alley. Whoever it was clutching his right shoulder. Hinata snuck over to the alley quietly and peeked in. It was Naruto. Naruto, you're okay. Naruto looked up and his head on the brick wall behind him. Don't surprise me like that. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to say goodbye. I'm leaving. Hinata sat down next to him. No, you shouldn't leave. Naruto, you're still hurt. You need time to recover. Whatever this Satsukiyami wants of you, Konoha will stand together with you. You aren't alone in this. Naruto smiled ruefully and shook his head. They'll do whatever it takes to get their hands on me. They don't care who else gets hurt or in the process. Satsukiyami tries to avoid damage and involving others, but if they can't, oh well. They're relentless. All of them have a grudge against people like me. The only reason they exist is to destroy me and my kind. What do you mean, your kind? You're a human. Do they want to kill all of humanity? Naruto, please reconsider. There has to be another way. No, there isn't. Goodbye, Hinata. Maybe I can return someday. But until then, farewell. He got up and left. Hinata followed him and grabbed onto his good arm. He turned around surprised. There's nothing I can do to convince you to stay. Naruto shook his head and tried to break free. Hinata refused to let go. Then I'm going with you. This is a good time to begin the search for your family. Whatever danger you face won't be faced alone. Absolutely not. This isn't a vacation. You have a future and life here. Live it. Hinata refused to let go. I said I'm going with you. You can't get rid of me. A cold chill filled the air. Naruto thrust Hinata behind him and looked at the man who approached them. The man looked like a normal man. He had short back hair with tan skin and brown eyes. His clothes were normal looking. He wore baggy black pants and a black vest over a red shirt. His boots made a distinctive noise with each step. Listen to the Jinchuriki. Don't get involved with this. Naruto, catch. Kakashi jumped from the roof of the building and dropped something into Naruto's hand. Open it when you get the chance. But for now, congratulations. You've been promoted to Chunin. I'll handle him. Go and hide. Naruto left and dragged Hinata with him. He was intending to leave, not to hide. Naruto, he said to hide, not leave. Naruto remained silent. That man was the one who put me in the hospital just recently. You said you wanted to go with me. So let's go. Naruto, wait. Hinata stopped walking. Naruto looked back at her. I know we need to hurry. But you are still just recovering. Let's take a break and talk about what we will do. It's never a good idea to run blindly. Naruto let himself fall against a tree in the shady area. Hinata sat down next to him and pulled out some food. Naruto accepted it gratefully. Thanks. What should we do from here? Hinata was silent for a second. We stop at the next town and lay low for a few days. During this time, you'll recover. I'll prepare for a longer journey. After you've recovered, we'll start out again. If we don't stay for too long in one place, we should get far enough away to get to one place and stay put for a while. Sounds good. Man, do you know how far it is from the next town? One of the few things I didn't pack was a map. Judging by the surroundings, a town can't be far. See, the fields are freshly tended and there are fresh wagon marks on the ground. Hinata pointed to the fields and then to the road. Civilization can't be far from here. Naruto heaved himself up and offered her a hand. Well, you coming? Hinata smiled gratefully and took his hand. You know, you've changed the past couple of days since we've left the village. You're no longer passing out around me. I'm actually glad you came along. Otherwise I'd probably have gone crazy by now. A kunai landed in between their feet. Just come along quietly. Come willingly and we can rid you of that little problem of yours. The term Jinchuriki will no longer apply to you. You find that term offensive, don't you? Naruto looked up and slowly backed up as he looked at the speaker. It was a woman with black cargo pants and a red tank top. She had shinobi sandals on as well as a pair of brass knuckles. Intense anger and pity was barely contained in her blue eyes, which was framed by long red hair. Let me guess, are Sumun of the Satsukiyami. Jigoku Ryoshi, one of your comrades who previously faced me, made me the same offer after he said you'd be worse than him. But you seem to forget one thing. No matter what alternative you use, it'll still result in my death. I'll go down fighting if basically want both of us. Hinata looked at Naruto with a questioning look. He didn't answer. We don't need your pity. We've come to an understanding. I guess you didn't inform your girlfriend of your condition. She's prepared to risk her life for you. She at least deserves to know why. The less she knows, the less danger she's in. If you tell her, I'll kill you myself before you even open your mouth. Let's see if you can. Muzhuga, remember the demon who attacked Konoha 15 years ago? That monster's spirit is now sealed within his body. And even worse, his own father condemned him to this fate. If you come willingly, I'll tell you who that man who called himself your father really was. No, you didn't. Naruto charged the woman, slowly growing a red chakra tail. He went down to his hands and knees as the red chakra slowly surrounded his body. Hinata activated her Byakugan and looked at Naruto's chakra circulatory system. A large red leering fox face could be seen. See, a demon through and through. Masamune performed some hand signs, some of which Hinata didn't recognize. Naruto grew 2 more chakra tails. Come on, let me put you out of your misery. And spare the entire world a huge monster. Naruto, no longer in his right mind, blindly charged. The white light which was forming in her hand struck Naruto in the sea, sending him flying into the field. Naruto. He didn't hear her cry. The demon fox cloak was begin to form around him. He went to blindly attack his enemy again. But before he could get out of the field, a fist pushed him back. This time it was from another woman. She wore shorts and a loose-fitting vest over a shirt. She too had long red hair with blue eyes. Though they were vastly different from Arwai's, they actually showed emotions other than hate and contempt. Take care of that idiot. I'll handle her. Hinata wasted no time in going to Naruto's side. Meanwhile Arwai stood in shock. Auntie Kushina, you survived the destruction of Whirlwind Village. But how? I thought that after the 9 tails attacked 16 years ago I was the only survivor. How did you survive? Briefly joy flickered in Arwai's eyes and she looked close to tears. But she pushed them back. Now that you're here, we can avenge the village. All we need is that boy. The woman named Kushina shook her head. You've let vengeance consume you. Even if that boy was not a B relation of mine, I still wouldn't help you. Arwai looked resigned. Then you're my enemy. I wish it wouldn't have come to this. Arwai charged Kushina. As the two fought mercilessly, Hinata spoke comfortingly to Naruto. He was sprawled against the tree with the demon cloak disappearing. He now only had the 4 tails but still had the wild look in his eyes. Naruto, you're in there aren't you? It's okay. Come back to us. Come back. Hinata approached him slowly. A low growl escaped his teeth. Hinata stopped completely and held up her hands. See, I mean you no harm. Naruto dropped his defenses and slowly walked forward to her. As he walked, the tails vanished and he passed out as he reached her. He had minor burns all over his body but he looked like he was back to normal. Don't worry. I'm not scared of you. I want to help you. We'll get through this Together. She put Naruto's head on his lap. He stirred faintly and mumbled something that sounded like thank you but didn't wake up. Kushina walked over to them. Hinata almost jumped but remained calm for Naruto's sake. She felt like grabbing him and running away. Don't worry. I'm a friend. She healed the minor burns all over his body. Who are you? Hinata asked the woman. Me. I'm Kushina. Kushina Uzumaki. And this boy is my son. Kushina hoisted Naruto onto her back. Hinata ran up to the woman who had just introduced herself as Kushina Uzumaki. She was stronger than she looked. Wait, where are you taking him? And are you really his mother? Kushina adjusted Naruto on her back and with her free hand to the countryside. Yes, Musuga, I am his mother. And as for your first question, I'm taking both of you to my place. Don't worry. Hinata glanced over at Naruto, whose head was hanging loosely over Kushina's shoulder. He looked exhausted. She knew she had no choice but to trust in this stranger. I mean you two no harm. I've been keeping an eye on Satsukiyami. When I heard they were now after Naruto, I went into action. And besides, you two look like you left in a hurry. Rest at my place and you can prepare properly. Then I'll return to Konoha with you two. Kushina began to walk across the field. Hinata fell into step beside her. Call me Hinata. As it is, I am probably in trouble with my family and risk disarmament. I may not have the right to call myself a Hyuga soon. Kushina looked down at her 2 charges. Both were dirty and travel-worn. Naruto clearly needed rest. She hadn't seen him since he was a baby. And now suddenly, after 15 years, they were being reunited. You must have questions. After my son wakes up, I'll answer any questions you two have. I don't want to say the same thing twice. Besides, if your family truly has your best interest in mind, they'll wait patiently for your return. Another POV. Naruto, how long will you sleep? How long will it take you to notice the things that are most important in your life? Naruto's inner self, his true self, stirred faintly and opened his eyes. It was dark in his mind. He was just there floating aimlessly. A shape emerged from the darkness. It was the nine-tailed fox. Only the fox made himself appear smaller now. Kitsune, is that you? It's been a while. The blackness vanished and he found himself standing in front of the demon's sealed cage. Yes, it has. You have truly interesting dreams. Humans dream all the time. But most of the time they forget them instantly upon waking. Have you ever thought that you might like Hinata? You notice things subconsciously. Hence, you know she loves you deeply and is willing to do anything for you. Even risk her life in battle to save you. She alone, of the many people you know, can call you back when you lose yourself. Observe, one of your regular dreams about her. It was a wedding groom was Naruto. And walking down the aisle was Hinata. Her family stood one side of the room. And on the other side was a few people that seemed vaguely familiar. One was a man with the same eyes and hair he had. This man was the exact copy of himself, only older. The other was a woman. She had long red hair and blue eyes. She was crying while the man besides was smiling broadly, almost crying himself. The scene vanished. Those two are your parents. Your father is now S. But your mother is still alive and closer than you think. You remember them subconsciously from your first day of life. Don't give up hope. Regular POV. Naruto jolted back to awareness. Kitsune had just visited him again. And he didn't recognize where he was. He was laying in a large bed. There was a table besides the bed. On the end of the bed, there was a small kitten. The kitten was laying on a bundle. Hello, little kitty. Who are you? The kitten meowed plaintively at being woken up and ran out of the room through the crack in the door. The bundle at the end of the bed was his clothes. They had been washed and dried. Which meant he had been asleep for a while. But where's Hinata? He got dressed and exited the room. The little kitten was waiting outside for him. Seeing him outside of the room, the kitten grabbed his pant leg and pulled. You want me to follow you? Okay, why not? The kitten took off and Naruto followed. He was led outside to a garden where Hinata sat with her feet in the man-made pool. A woman sat besides her and they were talking quietly. The kitten ran onto her lap and they looked up. Naruto, how are you feeling? Come join us. Hinata got up and led him to the pool. The water's great. You should feel it. It's really relaxing. Naruto took the hint, took off his shoes, and rolled up his pant legs. As he put his feet in the water, the woman turned to look at him. She had long red hair and blue eyes. He remembered one of his subconscious dreams that Kitsune had showed him. Is it you, Mom? Naruto asked carefully. The woman smiled. Yes, it's me. He was pulled into a hug and he felt her tears on his end. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. There when you needed me the most. Can you forgive me? Naruto pulled out of the hug. If you'll answer my questions. Like, where have you been until now? Thank you for giving me a chance. I'll explain everything. She wiped her tears away. Now, I'll start from the beginning. Your father was the fourth Hokage. While on a diplomatic meeting in my home village, the Whirlwind Village, we met and got together. But while there, the nine-tailed fox attacked. Up until now, I thought I was the only survivor. Your father got me out and soon afterward you were born. The day you were born, the nine-tailed fox came to Konoha. To save the village, he sealed its soul in you. He knew he would doing it. But he made sure I would live to take care of you. I thought you would be better off without me in your life. So I left you there in Konoha. If I had known what your life would have been like, I would have stayed. Naruto remained silent. What can you tell me about my family? Naruto clenched his fist. Hinata, noticing this, put her hand on top of his and smiled encouragingly. My family is all save one. We weren't a big family to begin with. But your father was a member of the Namikaze clan. It was a small clan, which was out. I know little of his. I do know one of his ancestors was of the Hyuga clan. This ancestor was born with normal eyes and no Byakugan. So he left the clan and later found out he had a bloodline limit as well. One never before recorded in Hyuga history. And one you can use as well. Wait, so does that mean Naruto and I are cousins? If even generations back, that should mean we're cousins. Hinata was turning bright red. Actually, yes, you two are cousins. So that means Naruto is technically part of your family. In your father's house, which he left to you Naruto, there's proof of your heritage. Which means your family has to accept him Hinata. Heck, he is your family. Naruto, if you would like to learn the bloodline trait, I can show you how to use it. I can't use it myself. But your father told me how to instruct you in its way if you wanted to use. Yes, please. Teach me if you're willing, Mom. An arrow soared into the yard and landed at Naruto's feet. There was a rolled up piece of paper on it. Naruto took it off and unrolled it. A hologram appeared of Jigoku Ryoshi. This is for the Jinchuriki. We of the Satsuki army are here to deliver an ultimatum. Your choices are these, it's either you or Konoha. If you come willingly, we'll not destroy Konoha. You have 3 days to reply. Naruto crumpled up the paper and threw it to the ground defiantly. Naruto, what do you want to do? I won't let you give yourself up. And I doubt Hinata will either. Fear clouded Kushina's eyes. Naruto, you really won't do that, will you? Hinata steeled herself to do what she must to keep Naruto here. Don't worry. If you think I'll give in and just you're hugely mistaken. I say we take the fight to them. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.